All right, what's up, everyone? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Hope you're having a great Monday. Put it in the chat if you are. I got a little wisdom to do for you guys today. First of all, you guys know next week, Agency Sales Bootcamp. It's happening right here. So if you're in this group, you have no excuse, right? Your sales is not going to be your excuse. You're not going to tell me, oh, I don't have any clients, because we're going to fix that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But what I want to talk about really quick, all right, I got a few minutes with you guys. Wherever you're tuning this in from, please put it in the chat. Tell me where you're from. Facebook, YouTube, all right, Facebook page, Facebook group, whatever it is. What's up to you? So here we go. A qualified prospect is one who is in need of your service, can afford it, they're motivated to get started, and they're ready to get started right away, and trusts that you have the perfect solution. All right. Most of the time, this is what you need. This is your equation. All right. This is your equation of an amazing prospect. You got to know, are they qualified? Qualified is, can they afford it? Right? Budget. Qualified as in they have the right problems. So this is your first job. These people qualified. And that's the biggest mistake people make, is just qualification process. You're pitching to the wrong people. If you can get this part, a lot of this other thing is going to be perfect. All right. You're pitching the wrong people because you're not qualifying them. You need to qualify them for decision-making power. Do they have the decision-making power? Are they maybe need to get the CEO in the table so that we can move this paperwork forward? Number two is, do they need your service? Maybe they don't need your service, right? How do we make sure that they need my service? Those are all done through qualification process. This is all sales stuff, man. You got to understand. Do they have power to make decision? Do they have budget? Do they have pain? And if you can figure that out, you got to go down. Can they afford it? How much can they afford? How much have they spent in the past? What are they spending right now? These are all things. These are skills. These are questions that you can add to your qualification process. You can train your salespeople to get all of these pieces of information. When do they want to get started? You see, this is one of those things. After you pitch, after you've done all your dance and all your singing, you go away and they're like, well, we're not so sure when we're going to get started. We want to get started a week from now. We're going to get started next month. I've gotten people say next year because I didn't ask the right questions. So when would they like to get started? Wouldn't that be a good piece of information for you when you're trying to, pitch this product? In my world, these are all things that you need to do before you make a presentation. You see, agency owners are so quick to making presentation, giving proposals. They just want to keep doing, it's called doing the motions, right? Going through the motions. And what about trust? Do they absolutely trust that you have the perfect solution for them? Does that make sense? Do they trust that you're the right person, you have the right vehicle, you're the right candidate to give this job to at whatever cost that is? $5,000, $10,000, $30,000 a year, $50,000 a year, $100,000 a year. Are you the right person? I want you to know that. These are things that you need to start incorporating into your sales pitch. These are the things that you're solving for. Who is a qualified prospect? Well, it's the one who is in need of my service right now. And they can afford my service right now. And they're motivated, right? They're motivated to get started right now. They don't need another person. They don't need to bring in another person. Or if there's 2-3 people making decision, they're all attending your proposal, your demo, whatever it is, right there, right? In person, virtual, Zoom, however you're doing it. And today it's all Zoom, but I'm just saying, like, however your sales process is. And how about building trust? Have you done that yet? Have you made sure that you're the authority, right? You're the person. You're the best fit for this job. And this is where picking a niche comes into play. This is where having an offer comes into play. They believe in you. They believe in your vehicle. They believe in what you're trying to do. They have exactly what they have the need to exactly what it is that you can fix. And if you cannot do this, you guys, if you cannot do this, this is where you start running into issues. This is where you have think it overs. This is where they say, we didn't have budget for it. How about this one? It costs too much. The price is too much, right? Or that was not the price tag we were expecting. And so said they can do it for cheaper. And they're comparing you to GoDaddy. Nothing wrong with GoDaddy, but I wouldn't do all of this work if they don't value what my product or my service is. So this is really, really critical. And this is the equation that I need you to start following every single day. And you need to get your salespeople on the same page. If you haven't hired a salesperson, you got to make sure that they're trained to ask for these questions. And if they are not qualified, you don't have to make a proposal, because only you're the one working on that deal. That customer is not bought in to what it is that you're trying to sell. This is super critical. I just want to make sure that you guys know this. This is the kind of things that are trained. You can train somebody. You can get them on weekly training sessions. You can coach them. You can mentor them. You can do role plays, right? You can give them all kinds of resources and tools, checklists. And we do this, by the way, we teach our partners to do this from all the way from the time they fill out the form. The prospects are qualifying themselves, and they're waiting, they're drooling, if you ask me. They're waiting to get on a call with somebody to spill all of their problems, for them to fix their problem. And you say, hey, look, this is going to cost you X $1,000. Is that within realms? And they say, yep, absolutely. I already know how much it costs. I looked you guys up. I already understand that. We already have the budget. Budget's approved. Wow. Rather than you chasing them, they already come ready to invest, right? So this stuff is what's going to get you to a better quarter this year, right? If you want your Q2 to be better, it's working on these things. Figuring out how many people in your pipeline. Let me ask you this. How many people in your pipeline that you feel are confident? How many people do you think are going to make a decision in the next 7 days? How many people do you have that are ready to make a decision to work with you, that you can bang on that? You're like, Solomon, I don't have that many. Maybe I got one. I'm working on it. How many people do you think it's going to make that decision by April 15, tax day? How many people do you think you got? You see, if you don't have that, this is where we need to work on. How many people do you think are ready to move forward this month? You're like, it's absolutely guaranteed. I got all the okays. Everything's perfect. This is the month to do it. How many people do you have? See, that's why I really want to emphasize. If you are not selling, you're not scaling. All right? We got to get this selling thing down right. This is why we invest all the time and energy training our partners about sales, training their salespeople on how to sell. Does that make sense? And this is why next week, if you've been watching me every single day, I'm like, hey, sell, sell, sell. Why? Because that is the lifeblood of your company. If you don't have deals lined up for this week, this month, next month, and if you're not working on filling up your pipeline with hot leads that qualifies to work with you, number one, they have the need of exactly what you sell. If you don't have the need, you're not making any proposals. Does that make sense? They can afford your services. They're motivated. This is the list that you want to check. So if you guys didn't know what's happening, well, next week, you guys know this, 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're investing all the time, energy. Our entire team is working on one thing only, fixing your sales problem. Your sales problem is my sales problem. And that's why I said, you cannot ever tell me that I don't have sales. I don't have deals lined up. That's not going to be an excuse for you anymore. Because I want to make sure that you know exactly the mistakes that agency owners are making every single day, so that you can get rid of those mistakes and actually fix your business and keep going, right? So that we can get you more sales this week, next month, onwards. And it's 3 days. It's going to be packed with a ton of stuff. Number one, if you don't have a salesperson yet, I need you to work on getting one. If you have a salesperson, I want them to go through this with you so that you guys know that you guys are on the right track. If you have more than one salesperson, fantastic. I'm so excited that you're here because you need that to scale. You cannot do this alone. You cannot do this just one person. Yeah, you can probably do it alone, but then you're going to have to delegate everything else, right? And if you want to truly be the owner, you're going to have to get the people down. So that's day one, you guys, people part. everything to do with people. Everything to do with you hiring people, everything to do with what they say on the phone or don't say on the phone, every possible mistake that people are making every single day. And trust me, that's like 3 days in itself. That's what we're going to attack that first. The second thing we're going to talk about is the product. How you design the product, how you develop it, right? All of that parts, anything to do with guarantees. That's day 2. And day 3, how do you build it a repeatable and scalable business? And I want you to know, by day 3, you have the blueprint. What to do, how to do it, what do you need to do, step-by-step instructions on what to do. I got bonuses, I got all kinds of stuff, right? What do I need to do? What's my next? What's my sales script? If you don't have a script yet, you're going to have that live by day 3. You're going to have more resources than you could handle right now. And that's your most important part, you guys. That is the most important part. What's the most important part? It's your sales. I need your sales. Let me see if I can create a new one. All right. I need your sales to look like this. All right. For month of April, this is what it needs to look like. Bam. All right. Revenue, April. There's 4 weeks. If this is not your April, we need to work on that. I want you to know this is what it can look like every single month. If you do this right, and I want to do this, by the way, I'm not sure how many times we're doing this sales bootcamp, but I want you to know something. This is the most important department in your agency. It is your sales department. Do you have qualified leads coming in every single day? If you don't have qualified leads coming in, that's number 1. And can you qualify them for all the things we just talked about, right? Can they afford it? Are they motivated? Are they going to get started now, or is it going to be next year? Are you going to waste time? Are you going to make free proposals? Are you going to do free consulting? Without doing any of that, can you make sure that you're going to get sales? And if you cannot predict what your pipeline looks like, then we need to talk about how do we do that for you, all right? So when is this training? It is going to be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, all right? Where is this happening? Right here. How do you sign up? Our team is going to put the link right below this video. I want you to understand that this is your chance to making 2022 your best year yet. All right. And don't wait till the last day, because guess what? I only want a limited number of people because I want to give them one-on-one time on how to help them scale their agency. One-on-one time. As many questions as you have, we want to go over. You can ask questions during, live, after. Why? Because I want to make sure that you have no more sales questions. If you're contemplating on hiring a salesperson, this is the time. If you're contemplating on changing your industry, changing your product, changing this, changing that, this is the time. Because you know what? If you cannot figure out sales, you're not going to be making whatever that you're thinking, 50K, 100K, 200K. It's not going to be a reality for you. And I want to make this a reality. It is a reality for so many people. Why can it be a reality for you? Okay, that's what the next 3 days is. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for helping me out. Come over here, right? This is, again, take a screenshot of this if you don't have this yet. The best prospect, the most qualified prospect is the one that needs your service. All right. They can afford it. That means they put aside budget. They're motivated to get started right away. And they trust you, and they trust your agency. They trust the product that the offer. If you haven't figured that out yet, that's another boot camp in itself. They trust your offer, and it can come through, and you know that you can deliver on the promise on the back end. That's your personal, right? It's you figuring that out. That's what it's all about. Thank you so much. Hopefully you have a great week, and I'll see you tomorrow.